Making his debut Monster Hunter 2, Rajang came in the world like a wrecking ball. A fanged beast similar to that of Blagongo. For those of you guys who played the games way back in the day, you'll undoubtedly note that they shared a lot of the same characteristics. But Rajang stood out in a couple of ways. He has very large, swole man arms, and he shoots a lot of electricity. Also on top of that, he has horns on his head. Now, about his thunder element, there are actually rumors, lore if you will, where he actually feasts on Kirin to actually gain his electrical powers, and since he can't produce electricity his own way, he uses Kirin to do that. Regardless though, he has a couple of attacks that are pretty privy to himself. The first one being his Blanca Ball. The Blanca Ball is a pretty cool attack where he curls up in a ball and slams his body down on the ground a multitude of times. Depending on what rank you fight him in, he'll do it up to 3 to 4 times. He also shoots a lightning ball from his mouth that actually give you this Thunder Blight, and in which no other attack actually gives you Thunder Blight. Now, other than that, his most notable attack is his Lightning Beam. Now, this lightning beam was super strong back in the day, and even stronger at its strongest actually in 4U. But however, following the 4U installment, it actually waxed and waned. Not as strong as it used to be, but still a very strong attack. Back in 4U, you take 80 to 90% damage if you actually got hit by it. Now that there's actually G rank in Double Cross and Generations Ultimate, the attack is quite strong, but for the most part, it doesn't have the same sting as it did back in 4 Ultimate. Unlike a lot of other monsters who have beams that you shoot the beam out very quickly, Rajang, when he does it, super vulnerable, highly choreographed. He'll do it, jump in the air, make a lot of noise, and then beam, making him super vulnerable if you know he's about to do it. Now the thing is though, he does have a lot of damage when it come out of it, but you can sweep the leg, knock him down while he's actually beaming to do large amounts of damage. Truth be told though, he doesn't actually have a whole slew of attacks. Once you get past the punching into the tremor and the quick spinning around punchy thingy, he also tends to throw large chunks of earth at you. He'll jump to an area, pick up some earth out the ground, usually a very large rock, toss it at you as a means to actually do attack. So truth be told, he has like 5 or 6 attacks, but the thing is they all hit very hard. And you want to make sure that you're not in the direct line of fire. Valor's a good substitute, but in my honest opinion, I would run Adept, because you get completely out of the way, whereas Valor, you can still end up in the same damage as before. Now, outside of his attacks, a popular comparison people like to make when you talk about Rajang is that his similarity to that of Goku, you know, the Super Saiyan. Now, when Goku gets real angry, he turns Super Saiyan. I don't know, I don't watch anime. But when Rajang gets angry, he goes Super Saiyan, gets all nice and gold and everything, is all shining, and gets real strong. When in his normal form, however, he's actually immune to pitfall traps. He must be enraged or in Super Saiyan mode if you want to actually set a pitfall trap down to capture him. Similar to that of a Zenogre, when you put a shock trap down when he's trying to charge up, it'll automatically charge a man up. If you actually cut his tail, he won't go into rage mode anymore, so he won't be Super Saiyan the entire time while he's blowing your face off. It's kinda good, but the one small caveat to not wanting to do this is the fact that you can't use pitfall traps on him at all, because like we discussed earlier, pitfall traps are the things that he can jump right out of when he's in this regular black fur mode. With attacks and everything out the way, let's talk about his weaknesses, because that's the cool stuff. Truth be told, Rajang is very unique due to the fact that he only has one actual weakness, and that is ice. You can actually do no real damage to him with anything else, it's just ice. Now if you're going to do any damage to his body parts, hit him in the head or the tail. His horns do a great amount of damage and his tail does a great amount of damage. And honestly, if I'm going to be real with you, I would totally recommend going for the head, much easier. Then again, like I said, if you go for the tail, you risk the chance of cutting it off, messing up how you actually want to fight the monster if you want to actually keep him going through Super Saiyan mode versus not going to Super Saiyan mode, because you can use pitfall traps. It's totally on you. His armor is really nice, both in high and G rank. But right now, let's just focus on the Rajang armor because he does have Furious and Regular. This is a Rajang video. Now, his high rank one is called Golden, and his skills are Insight, Attack Medium, and his negative skill is Sense. Meaning a monster to attack you more often, it's essentially Taunt. I, however, have not really had this problem too much. I actually run my own particular set of armor that has Taunt on it, and I don't really feel more so attack rather than not. Now, moving over to the G rank joint, everything is essentially the same. It's actually called Grand God Peer. But again, you're going to get Insight, the ability that allows you to feel your Hunter Arts faster. Attack Medium, negative skill being Sense, again, the Taunt joint, with the addition of Furor. What it really does is, if you have red health, you get an attack boost. I mean, it's not that bad. Odds are if you get hit with any attack from any monster ever, you're gonna get a little bit of red health. So it's not bad. It's pretty good. There's 2 attack bonuses that you can receive just by wearing the armor itself. Plus with Insight giving you the additional bonus to actually filling your gauges up, solid stuff. Moving over to the weapons, let's talk about some of them. They actually are pretty solid. A couple of them even have 350 attack or so. Now, some honestly tend to be on the lower end of the attack spectrum, like the greatsword and the hammer, oddly enough, but for the most part, they're fairly solid. One thing, however, you guys should totally note is that they all tend to have about -15 to -20 affinity, especially the ones with the 350 attack. Touching back on the ones with 350 attack, they don't necessarily have the best sharpness as well. They tend to really max out about blue, and unless you have sharpness plus 1 or 2, you might get some white. But the others tend to have a fairly nice amount of white on them as well, so with the multipliers being said, they might actually be a little bit better than 350 attack weapons, but that's neither here nor there. But what is here is the fact that the weapons are very solid. You can pick any of them up and do a great amount of damage, great thunder. If you don't really have a great thunder weapon, this is a really nice one to pick up if you're not necessarily afraid of negative affinity. Okay, as a quick recap, remember that Rajang hits very hard, but a lot of his attacks are single striking attacks, meaning he will throw them out and then you can quickly evade them and you're good to go. Granted, some of his hitboxes have very long and active hitboxes, so if you remember, if you're going to be using Valor, I recommend trying to get out of the way because you might Valor back into the same attack if you're not careful. But with that being said, Adept is the one I would personally recommend because you can just get out of the way. Now, again, if you're going to be attacking, Ice Element is the element you're going to want to go with, or unless you have very high raw attack. Remember to attack his horns on his head because it's his weak spot, or his tail in a pinch if you really feel you're well enough to that. Again though, remember, if he falls over and you chop his tail off, don't put the pitfall trap down because he's probably going to be Black Rajang and he jumps right out the trap if he's not furious and not furious, but not enraged. That's what it is. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much Rajang in a nutshell. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. It's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Let me know if you learned something or not, and again, let me know if you like the format. I mean, your boy, I look slickum, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Holla at your boy. Take care. You Duggars and Diggheads, enjoy yourself. I'll see you on the next one.